Yep, complexity. Breaking Jason Lake buys back complexity. Sales follows 100%, 75% increase in complexity sales from 2020. I mean, I'm not really going to get into all that. So they bought it back for 10.36 million. What were they buying phase for? Like 16 or 17? Apparently, and if you guys, let me see if I can show you the response in here. So somebody actually asked, what is Global Esports Property? So this is now the group that owns Complexity. And Jason Lake said, it's a brand new company I formed to buy Complexity. Currently, it's only me and a lifelong friend. So I imagine he's going to bring on other investors. I'm not sure who lifelong friend is, but my God, must be nice. Guy's got a friend and they're just casually buying something for $10.6 million together. So I just wanted to add some context to that, but overall, I am glad to see him buy it back because for those of you that don't know, like there is no world where they could have bought FaZe and still had complexity exist. Like it didn't work. So Game Square really is just becoming, so complexity is still gonna just exist on this. I wonder who owns the facility. Is that in here? Because they have the Star, right? They have the Dallas Star, but that's part of Game Square, I think. That's gonna, man, I wonder if they're gonna have to like rebuild kind of like the infrastructure of complexity, or if they're gonna like rent it from Game Square. Is it say? Let me see. I think this is just strictly talking about the sale of complexity. It's at the Cowboys complex. I'm just wondering how that part works, right? Like think of, right? So Game Square is owned by like the Jerry Jones group and was run by Jason Lake, if I remember right. I think that's how it worked, right? So then Game Square would probably be the ownership group of that practice facility that's on the Cowboys like Star area facility, whatever you want to call it, estate grounds. So I wonder what the, because man, that was really cool. That to me, that was like, I feel like it's limited space in terms of how much use it gets, but man, I imagine for a player, if you were playing for complexity, it was probably incredibly nice to have. I think the old complexity logo comes back. As much as I am nostalgic of complexity, I would really hope we don't see complexity go back to Quiznos. Actually, this isn't full Quiznos. There's another version of Quiznos. I don't remember where it's at, but it's probably somewhere in the replies. I'm a fanboy and I'm nostalgic as fuck, but I don't think this one's gonna really fly. Dude, now I don't have to feel bad about hating on the Cowboys either. Because before, I won't lie to you, I always felt a little conflicted because the Cowboys were doing some good shit, for NACS. Now I could really let loose, I wonder how this affects Tim and Cloaksy, and I'm sure if anything, this doesn't affect Tim and Cloaksy at all. They're actually going to be FaZe content creators now. Probably, right? Because they own Game Square, and Game Square now owns FaZe. So Tim the Tapman, Cloaksy, anybody previously with FaZe, and then anybody that was with Game Square, I would imagine those contracts are still Game Square, so they'll be FaZe. Unless I'm misunderstanding how things work, I think it's FaZe Tim the Tapman. Really, it's not really FaZe the Tim the Tapman. It's Daddy Tim the Tapman to anybody that's in FaZe because he owns them. that's real. That should be his real title. Is not should be Daddy. I feel like saying FaZe Tim the Tapman implies that they're the same, but he's literally the owner. So, well, along with a lot of other, I think it's Ninja and Cloaksy, right? Still, though, I am happy to see this. I hope Jason Lake has a lot of success, man. If you're an NA Counter-Strike fan, like a diehard dude, like buy a fucking Cole jersey, whatever they end up doing, whenever that is, myself included, we gotta do something because homie just fucking whipped out 10 million to basically save the North American Counter-Strike roster. So props to that. Like, how many shirts is 10 million? At least 5. Sold it for 27 million, bought it back for 10. Less than 2 years later, stonks, bro. I didn't know he sold the entire. Did he sell his entire stake in it when he sold it? I'm just saying, fl0m can sell one of his 10 mansions and help fund NACS. I like to put my money in smart places. I'm not as nice as Jason Lake. The only thing that really worries me in the current landscape is, I mean, this is cool. This is awesome to see, but I do worry about NACS still, just because while I feel like everybody's happy to see the partner teams go away, the analogy I gave the other day, and I feel like it's still kind of decent, is basically ESL and the partnership agreements in general, like the Louvre agreement specifically, shot NACS in both its kneecaps and made it drag itself all the way back. And then as they're trying to drag ourselves back, they're just basically getting rid of all the partner teams. So now we're just sitting there with no kneecaps, trying our best to get it back together and stand. And I don't know, bro. I feel like the partnership, I feel like openness is good, but man, I feel like there's going to be a lot of growing pains. Jason is hella successful though. If you're an NACS fan, we need him to be successful.